Hey guys, Cry here. Back with another video. This time I'm doing a analysis breakdown on the mid-season showdown on the PCS versus VCS. I'll be doing it on the game with Machi X versus Team Flash. It is the semifinals. Now, before we start, I have not looked at any of these games. I have not looked at any of these teams. Um, all my opinions will be super unbiased. I've been catching up much more on the LPL and the LCK, some of LCS, some of LEC. But I have not seen a single game of PCS or VCS. This split. The first split. So without further ado, let's just start throughout the pick and bans. Let me just check. I am working with just one screen here, so okay. Let's see. Yep, it is Machi Esports versus Team Flash. First bans coming in from Machi will be. I find it weird when you ban both Callista and Set on the same side. I feel like Callista and Set work well, but it's just weird banning them both on the same side. It could be a target ban towards Team Flash. Varus banning of Varus is pretty good on the let's see, blue side, red side. On the red side, it is quite a contested first pick. LeBlanc ban towards Mission probably. I don't see a lot of LeBlanc bans. Well, I do. I can't really say that I don't see a lot of LeBlanc bans. I always figure like when you ban the LeBlanc, it's because the laner can't deal with it. And then the Nautilus ban. Things are still things that are up are still Aphelios, Misfortune, Nidalee ban. Onto the Nidalee ban is pretty good here because they allow a high priority jungle pick on Machi Esports. I think picking Gray's first pick. So if you pick Gray's first pick, you really have to push your advantages really hard with the Graves pick. I think Graves as a jungler is pretty strong in the current meta. Nautilus ban on the final ban onto Team Flash. Again, I don't really like the AD bans here. It just feels weird to me. But again, maybe it's just a target ban. Syndra going on to Team Flash as R1. So yeah, just a small reminder. I'll be using pick and ban codes. This will be B1, B2, B3, B4, B5. R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. Again, there we go. We see the Aphelios pick over the Misfortune. I still think Misfortune is pretty strong. But with what Team Flash is going now, again, I have not seen a single match in the PCS and or VCS. But it could be a Syndra jungle. I will be surprised if it's a Syndra jungle. But if not, Team Flash is basically making a statement that, hey, we want to have strong laners, we want to have a really strong mid lane, and we want to have a pretty decent scaling bot lane. Machi responds with with B2 with Zoe. And let's see what B3 is. Now again, Team Flash would probably have to pick a jungler here. Oh, okay, right. It's gonna be expected as a Misfortune because if they don't pick Misfortune here, Team Flash will likely ban out the Misfortune on their next banning phase. Really common concepts here. They have to pick this Misfortune here. Not too sure about the Zoe pick. I'm okay with the matchup. I am a mid laner. I'm good with the matchup. Again, we see the jungle pick. Now, I feel like the Lee Sin pick is a bit weird here. Then again, Lee Sin in more aggressive regions is quite highly prioritized. Although I do feel like things like Olaf could be really good. I think Olaf into Misfortune is fine. Maybe not so much into Graves. What else? Oh man, what else junglers are there? I think Fiddlesticks is fair, but again, Graves is a really strong contested pick. Is a really strong pick. I mean, so maybe Lee Sin against maybe they think Lee Sin into Graves is fine. Because the concept that I have is that, well, if you pick Olaf and the concept is that, well, if Graves is going to pick Face Rush, then Olaf is just going to get kited out. I feel like the concept with Lee Sin is the same. If you're always going to get kited out with Face Rush Graves. So Team Flash going on with the support bans. Looks like both sides are going with the support bans here. More on the tank supports for Team Flash and the Yumi and potentially, let's see, Karma maybe. Karma could be really good here. I don't think Tom Kench is a champion now. So Braum probably just to deny the counter towards Zoe and Misfortune. So what's up? Top laner is still up. Ornn is still up. Cannon is still up. Jace. Although, yep, there's the Ornn right there. Jace is still up for grabs. Now, Machi Esports. With the comp that they already have, they're playing a very kind of a pick comp. They want a team fight in. Aatrox is also a good pick here. I wouldn't vouch for the Aurelia. It is really weird to have Aurelia here. They will see, the problem with Aurelia here is that Aurelia needs a lot of attention. So with the two other lanes being mid and bot, I feel like bot lane is also a lane. Misfortune lane also kind of needs a lot of attention. Zoe is fine, Zoe's just wave clears. Because if you pick Aurelia and Misfortune, it makes it into a really weird kind of where do I play? Do I play top side? Do I play bot side? If you play top side, your bot side is going to get crushed. If you play bot side, vice versa. And then the classic Misfortune, Leona, bot lane. What am I expecting here? Now Thresh is I don't feel like. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not sure why. Well, see, okay. So Machi picks her. So it's R2. It's B1, R1, R2, B2, B3, R3, then bans, then R4, B4, B5, R5. Why don't you pick the Thresh first? And then just swap the Aatrox or matchup around. I feel like what Team Flash is trying to do here is slightly greedy because they are putting the efforts in mid lane, but Zoe's just gonna neutralize mid lane. Zoe is really good. Well, I feel like the matchup itself, again, Zoe's matchup is like, I feel like it's kind of the same where like if you're a really good Syndra player, you can hit your stun, you can instant kill Zoe, and if you're a really good Zoe player, you can hit your bubble, and you will always get a chunk onto Syndra. That's how I've always viewed the matchup here. And it also depends on whether they take cleanse or not. But I digress. Team Flash, I feel like their R4 could have been a Thresh pick here. And you just swap around with the Ornn matchup. I feel like as Aphelios, having so you have a really, really red team comp on Team Flash. What I mean by red team comp is that they want to go in. And Aphelios is... You can't play Aphelios as sort of a red champion, but he kind of wants to have space around to, kind of shuffle his weapons. And of course, he's not that mobile, so to say. It's really hard if Leona goes on top of him, if Aatrox goes on top of him. Now, again, Aphelios as a champion alone is a pretty strong champion. I have no doubt that these players are pretty good at what they do. They're pros, after all, So perhaps Slater is confident that, okay, you could go for a Alistar pick, and I will feel okay with it. Into the Misfortune Leona matchup. Now, I want to see if Aphelios Slater here actually goes for Cleanse, because I think Cleanse is really, 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 really good here against the Leona and the Zoe. But we'll see. I think TP feels a bit greedy if you take it on Philios. So once more we'll break down matchup. I think Ornn versus Aatrox. If you're fans of LS or watch LS's stream, they've always mentioned that Ornn beats Aatrox. But there's also arguments where Aatrox beats Ornn in lane. I think this is much Ornn favorite because Ornn just provides so much more value to the late game. And I don't think the laning phase is that bad at all. Mainly because you will go for Bamboo West and also 2 health crystals, 2 ruby crystals, and probably Ninja Tab Eyes. Ninja Tab Eyes is pretty good in this game here. With the only magic source is being Zoe on Machi Esports. I think, let's see, who won draft? I think Machi Esports just won draft straight. I think they have a much better idea of what they want to run. They have a pretty good red kind of team. Everyone wants to go in. Once you go in, you just want to pop. The problem with Team Flash is that if they get caught, it's really hard for them to fire extinguish the champions on Machi Esports. You could argue that maybe Team Flash has to always engage, but that's not always the case because Machi Esports have quite a okay time trying to maneuver around team fights. But that's just my 2 cents. I've not watched a single game yet. I think having Alistar support for the Philios is a pretty bad choice. They could I feel like you could go for a Thresh for the R4 here. And R5, depending on what B5 or B4 does, whether it's Ornn or Aatrox, then you could reverse the matchup. There's also Keenan, which is also pretty good for the side of Machi as well. I think blind Keenan is not too bad, but blind Aatrox is also blind Ornn is always fine. And we'll go into the game. Okay, I'm just gonna skip ahead everybody's Hansen players, Hansen casters. Alright, let's see. So, yep, as this is kind of obvious. Both of them want to play bot side, as you can see by Ego and Gemini playing towards bot. I mean top to bot. It's kind of common. They want to rotate down to bot side. Again, this matchup in mid lane. So Syndra will always have the push first. You should always have the push first. It's kind of weird that I find the summoner spells really interesting here. So Syndra went with a wow. Okay. I'm not too much of a fan with corrupting pot. Mainly because I feel like you kinda lack the combat stats. But maybe they're just trying to survive in lane, but it doesn't make sense. Now in Zoe's case, it makes a bit more sense because you have TP, so you don't mind. It like Zoe kind of cheats the lane in a way. But with Syndra getting Comet as well feels kind of bad. Like I feel like Syndra is like what Null is doing is kind of he wants to work the lane, but also has a bit of defensive stats, like kind of 50-50. It's really weird. I'm not sure what is going on. Like the cleanse is clearly for defensive purposes. Cleanse again for Ifilius, really good by Slater. I think there's a lot of value going on here. But I digress. Maybe I could be proven wrong. I am not a favor of the Comet here. I think Phase Rush would have been fine. I think maybe even Electrocute would have been okay. But then again, Electrocute's tree into Sorcerer isn't that good on Syndra. Sorcerer tree into Inspiration tree will always be better on most mages, mainly because you get cookies. Let's see. Yep, they get cookies here. Okay. Oh, happens. Happens to the best of us. Ego missing the Q. Oh, this is really interesting here. Ego doesn't go for So I'm expecting a early level 3 gank here, but we do know that blue side knows that Lee Sin is around. This is good by Jiminy. You always want to do a full clear. I feel like in pro games especially, because teams are much more organized, should be much more organized. You don't get to cheese ganks as often. Right. Yep. Again, a full clear. Syndra gets the push as we mentioned. Aatrox wins the early laning phase. Oh, this is really interesting here. Stark going for a Grass on Undying. Now, it's weird. Now, here's the thing with Grass on Undying on Ornn. I think it's obviously it's good. Tanks matchups. You kind of want to win the lane, but you don't pick Ornn to necessarily win the lane. You pick Ornn because you want the ornaments. So it's like saying like, oh, okay, I pick Ornn, but I also want to win the lane. It's like saying I want to pick Jace, but I also want to scale for late game. Kind of works out, but not really. I would rather go for, again, Inspiration Tree is just too good. You get free 300 gold, you get cookies, you get cooldowns, or what's the other one? Or you get instant potions. And also you get multiple summoner spells with Spellbook. Grasp Undying on Ornn is fine, though I don't recommend it. Ego doing a really weird path here. Not sure why you would go for a red into Gromp, red into blue into Gromp into Wolves. If you're gonna do that, you might as well just do a top side full clear into bot side. Not to look for a gank, but look for a counter gank, because again, you want Aphelios to be able to have his good first back with the BF sword. One thing I did notice is that crit champions, with the exception of maybe champions that can stack Doran's blades, like Misfortune, they need to go back with 1300 gold to get their BF. It's just a much higher power spike here. Okay, Graves opting to not get level 4 with the Crux, which is really weird. So again, this is what I mean by you want to cover for your bot lane. Now this is really weird by Lee Sin going up top here, because okay, okay. Alright. Yep. And you die. Yep. This is always gonna happen. Not sure what Team Flash is thinking about there. So what I mean by this is always gonna happen. So think of it this way. You are Team Flash, okay? You know that, okay, they start topside. So what's the response here? And also, you probably... Now, I didn't see where did Alistar burn his flash, but the enemy team probably knows that, okay, Alistar is no flash, okay? Both teams, junglers, are starting topside. Now, they know that Lee Sin did blue, and they can also check that if Lee Sin, did how many camps. So by the time he did blue, okay, he had 8 camps. Oh, by the time he finished blue, he had 8 camps. Now, Graves, on the other side, is still doing wolves. So Graves is still way at top side. No. So unless Lee Sin sits in a bush with 8 camps, well, with 2 camps, with 8 CS, whatever, okay, this will always work out for Machi X. This will always work out for Machi X, even if a pallet goes for the engage instead of Koala going for the engage here. This will always work out for, Koala going for engage here. This will always work out for Machi X. This is just a free kill for Machi X here. Again, it's really weird because, again, when you pick Aphelios, you want to have a smooth back here. If this happens, tempo just goes towards Machi X bot side, and Machi X would just always be a hit. Because now the Alistar pick kind of becomes irrelevant. Unless he, I won't be surprised if he goes for Mobies here. So again, we watch this replay. This will always work out. There's no point of Pallet going back in. Pallet should always know, why the fuck is Koala going in? I don't have my jungler here. Why do I go back in here? You don't know where the enemy jungler. Actually, you should know because he started topside, and it's about this minute where the jungler should appear. Gemini splashing in because they know that Alistar is no flash. Good kill there for Machi X. So again, weird start by Team Flash here. I think it's a misplay. Why would you go for a red into blue if you're just gonna go back topside? And also you have losing topside. What I mean by losing topside is that Aatrox and Zoe should have priority back because Syndra pushed it back, and unless Syndra is able to fast push the next upcoming stacked up waves, mid and top on Machi X should have priority. Yep. Now Ego is just being weird. It's kind of wasting time. I wanna see if okay. So Machi exit, push it in. They escort it all the way. Okay. This is fine here. Let's did Syndra freeze the lane? No, wait. Okay, so the matchup with blue with Zoe, well actually the matchup with TP into non-TP mages, is that TP mages in mid lane will always win. The tempo game, the econ game. Hence why maybe that's the reason. Okay, maybe now it's like, okay, I'm always gonna lose the econ game here, so I'm gonna take Comet and probably Scorch to bully out the Zoe. And maybe try to get her to base first before I do, so I can get a okay base here. Now, in this scenario, in this kind of lane state, it's really hard on now because one, Syndra is running out of mana real fast. But of course, that's where the cookies comes in. I feel like this is a really hold on. So I feel like it's a really bad choice to actually bite down onto your corrupting potion without fighting, because corrupting potion gives a passive burn. And the thing with how cookies work is that the lower your resources are, the lower your mana or your health is, the more you regen. Now in this case, pun intended. Now could just hard commit to a shove and say I want to base. Zoe could freeze this here, but this is probably the most optimal time for now to base to get perhaps a maybe 2 Doran's Rings or Doran's Ring and a Dark Seal, or if he has to go, which I highly doubt he does, a Lost Chapter. So again, this is what I mean by they do have priority. What? Okay. Okay. I mean, that's such an early flash. I mean, that's such an early cleanse. Definitely a slight misplay by now. They're missing the stun. Wait, did he get cleanse? Wait. Oh, he had. Oh, see, this is what I hate about Zoe. Like somehow miraculously you will get cleanse from a minion. So obnoxious. Okay. I mean, now played it great, don't get me wrong. He waited for the cleanse to go up. This is that he missed, and because Zoe probably had Nimbus Cloak. I can't really shit out now here because Nimbus Cloak with Zoe's W passive gives Zoe a lot of movement speed. He did try to hold it down well a bit. So this is fine there. I felt like Zoe probably didn't have to go for the check, and even if she wanted to, she could have just placed the ward in front of so let me just bring up my pen here. Alright, where's my pen? So Zoe could just walk in here. Oh, okay, fuck my life. Zoe, if you want to actually just look if Lee Sin is going over, or like if the Scudder is sticking, you could just go over here, put a ward here, and that's gonna be fine. I don't feel like she should have committed the whole body check here, although she didn't burn any sums. Of course, like this is one of the results where like she didn't get punished. She could have gotten punished, and she might have been able to burn. Now, in a world where she doesn't get cleansed, then she has to burn flash for sure. She might even die with the health pool that she has. So again, I feel like she didn't have to go all the way. She just put wards there, and that's gonna be fine. Again, top side, there's also priority here. Aatrox in a weird spot. He could just push it out. Go around as well. Graves also top side. I'm pretty sure Zoe with the amount of flash they have, they can try to prolong the skirmish. But again, I digress. That's way too much variables, so I'm not gonna go into details with that. Okay, let's let it play. Now again, Zoe has TP, so Zoe doesn't care too much about having a bad base because she can just cheat out the base here. Not sure what top lane is going with. It is definitely pushing back towards PK here. Graves coming in for a gank. Okay. Fail gang, that's whatever. Don't push the wave. Don't push the wave. Don't. Oh, no. No. Well, there's two mistakes here, okay? First of all, you shouldn't even go with this gank. Because one, PK's chain is down. We saw it here. Where is it? Oh my god, that's just so dumb. Right here, he missed the chain. Like, at this point, if I was PK, I would say, okay, don't even come top. There's no point if you don't get anything up top. You don't get anything at up top. I would rather you just just do another clear, get 6, repeat a bot gank. Because again, you want to snowball your misfortune here. You don't really care about Ornn because Ornn is gonna be Ornn. Now, of course, if you can get a free kill, if you know that Ornn is over pushed all the way here, then that's fine. But of course, if that's the case, if Ornn is still here, I would expect Ornn having Lee Sin either here or having enough wards to secure him from him being able to push all the way up. But for Gemini to come up all the way. Now, keep in mind, with this, I don't know how. Wait, where's the cannon? Theoretically, this should push towards PK. And this should be a really good lane state because PK can just freeze the lane here. PK has much more resources. You're gonna force Ornn to actually base and TP back, so you're gonna face Ornn's TP and potentially get a TP lead. Now there's no reason to push it back towards him because he's gonna be able to collect the whole wave. And the whole point of having an Aatrox versus Ornn lane is that you want to be able to bully out the Ornn, either by starving him or farm, or diving him in the turret. And this is definitely not a scenario where you're gonna dive the Ornn, mainly because they don't have enough items, and Ornn has already has a good enough of health pool and also a cloth armor here. This will never work when they try to dive, but again, I digress. You want to either starve him out of farm, or you want to dive him, right? And this is a scenario where I don't know where the cannon is. I can see the blue one here. I don't know where the red one is. If there's the red one, it should push towards him, and PK should be really delighted that he can freeze it up towards here, because again, there's no scuttle to contest anymore. Now, if there was a scuttle, PK should be pushing and go for a scuttle alongside with Zoe, because we know that it's Graves based. We know that Graves has an item lead, and if there was a scuttle, they could contest for it. Now, Graves would be, of course, in that scenario, Graves would be walking towards scuttle in that case. But again, I don't know what's going on here. Probably a misplay by the side of Machi X. I like the aggression from PK though. Don't get me wrong, I like the aggression here. Now I think PK tries to bait him in here by the taunt baiting him. Cute bait. Now if Stark rammed into that mini mountain that he did, he would die. But of course, Stark being a pretty good disciplined player, holds onto this E, doesn't go for the full commit onto the trade, and walks away safely. And also, well, if I was Stark, I probably look at the map. Well, there's nothing on the map, and this guy just taunted me straight up. Why would this happen? Again, we see the advantages of having TP mid against a non-TP. So at this point, Syndra just slowly bleeds out. Like, Syndra just hard bleeds out at this point. Where did the cookies go? He burned one cookie. I'm pretty sure he just burned it two. He had two before he based. Oh wow, did he eat it immediately? Okay, that's fine. Oh, I just noticed. So if this is the case, why don't you ask Ego to help you push out the lane? You have to push out this lane, otherwise you're gonna always lose a. Oh my god, this is so bad. Why is Ego basing? Why not just say, hey, Ego, I need your help to push out the lane because Zoe's gonna have TP, and if Zoe TPs, I can't match a roam on top side. This is also really bad by how Ego base. Ego is basically saying, I'm basing, I'm not gonna be on the map for one minute or so. Every lane that's winning, PK and Bruce can play aggressive if they're in lane. So it's just really weird how Ego is basing right now. It's basically like Ego is kind of like kind. Now I'm not gonna trash anyone, but kind of griefing his laners here. Kind of griefing his players here. Again, we all know what happened here. Just weird gank. Kind of makes no sense. I would rather. But again, it looks like they're gonna dive here, so I could be wrong. Okay. This gets the blue. Now he gets a face rush. Machi X just seems now it's only a 500 gold lead, but Machi X seems so ahead here. They're ahead in bot lane because they kind of better tempo. They should have better tempo. They're ahead in mid lane because of TP. The econ game is much better. They're ahead in top lane because of PK's matchups into Stark. The Aatrox's Orin matchup here. Oh, this is weird. Now again, like this is what I meant. But like, if you're gonna dive, you have to settle your wave better. But now it just looks like Machi X is just confused on what they want to do. Cause yep. Well, now couldn't freeze it, but now gets free CS. Now mission doesn't lose too much here. Because the wave is slow pushing, and it's kind of impossible for now to be hard pushing this early. Mana Crystal with Dark Seal is kind of okay. Alternatively, I would go for perhaps Dorns instead, just to get the higher health pool. Sell my biscuits, because remember, biscuits, if you sell it, you still get the maximum mana. And in this scenario, Null doesn't need maximum mana, so it's fine to sell biscuits for 30 bucks just to get probably a Dorns, just to get a bit more health regen or mana regen. This is fine by Gemini because Gemini knows that Null doesn't have E. Always fine for a jungler to kick the shit out of the enemy laners, just for them to lose a bit of health. And now we resume to a mid circle jerk with both mid laners just pushing each other out, with Mission always having a slight advantage. Oh, this is interesting. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out if this lane is gonna. Okay. I feel like he could now this is a bit nitpicky, but if Bruce doesn't hit this, or waits until the last projectile that's flying that's gonna kill this, and then hits it, this will freeze. This will perma freeze. And this is really good because we know that Aphelios doesn't want to expand too much, or like the bot side of Team Flash doesn't want to expand too much summoners. Let's see what I'm gonna say here. They don't really want to risk too much dying here. Because if they walk up, on a freeze here, they might get collapsed. They might get hard collapse. And you don't want that Aphelios. Aphelios, especially with cleanse right here, you really just want to kind of survive the lane. Now, I'm not saying that they should not fight, and in fact, I think that if they do fight 2v2, Aphelios with Alistar stands a really good chance. But in a scenario where Aphelios dies, it's really fucking bad for Aphelios. It is terrible. It is detrimental for Aphelios here. It's fine if Misfortune dies because Misfortune spikes. Her bullet time is fine. Getting IE is fine. But you want tempo to be on the side of Aphelios, and if Aphelios doesn't get good tempo, it's a bit awkward to play him. Okay, let's go. Again, I think the freeze breaks here because I think Bruce kind of messed up here. Of course, Team Flash calling their junglers. Now this doesn't matter here because again the freeze broke, so it's not too doesn't matter too much. Ego taking this Goto is fine because they have priority both mid and bot, so this is okay. Alternatively, let's see. Yeah, alternatively, oh wow, okay, Zoe burned 3 pots. That is a lot of pots instantly, especially if you have the TP here. That's interesting. Okay. Oh wow, Hute and Flash. That's really big. I figured Mission must have misstepped. I could go into much more detail into this matchup, but I feel like I'm just gonna spend like another hour talking about this matchup here. Aggression from Bruce is fine because Gemini is on their side. It's much closer than Ego is to their. It's much more closer. The proximity is closer than to Flash Team Flash jungler and bot side. Wow. No, actually kicking the shit out of Mission. Okay. This is great for now because now I'm gonna say this a lot because now the Syndra played by now is gonna have a good tempo because she is able to push in the wave first, and she's able to go. She's not gonna lose too much of CS here. This should actually never happen. But again, I digress. Wards. There's a lot of wards misplacements. Ego is doing his own thing. Laners on both sides are laners on top side are kind of doing their own thing as well. Mid laners are kind of doing their own thing as well. It's just bot lane that's actually playing with the team, kinda. Okay, PK should freeze here. PK, please freeze here. Do not push the wave. Why? 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 Why do you push the wave? You're not looking for dive. You don't want Stark to get farm. If you freeze this wave, he's always gonna get denied of one wave. Drake is down. You are not going anywhere. Why? Why? Okay, you know what? Whatever. Let's move on. Oops. Please don't tell me he base here. No, don't base here. See, now, okay, this is what happens, okay? If you freeze, what is Stark gonna do? Stark is stuck. He ain't gonna do nothing, okay? If you push, Stark is like, oh, Aatrox is pushing. I don't care if I don't get the CS. It's fine as long as I get experience. As long as I get experience, I'm fine as Ornn. Now, Ornn, okay, as we all know, gets ornaments at level 13 and so on. So if you starve Ornn from hitting his 13 spike, Ornn is shit. And Aatrox is great. But if Ornn is able to get his items, his experience, his levels, Ornn is great because you get 5k out of nowhere. Thanks, Riot Games. And also you get, bonus stats. But now, PK is saying, okay, I don't want to fucking freeze this. I have nowhere to go. I don't really have items to build. We're not looking to dive him because we can't set up the dive here, okay? Because Alistar is already roaming up around top side. Leona is late on the roam, okay? There is no way that Machi X is gonna dive top. So I don't get why he pushed the whole wave in. Because if you freeze it, Stark is stuck. Now, some of you could argue, well, if he freezes it, Stark could look for roam mid, and mid could get cut by top lane. Okay, yes, that could work if your team says, I don't know where the fuck Stark is, please play safe. Now, if you play safe, Mission is fine. Mission is safe. PK gets a lot of hit by doing this freeze here, and Stark loses even if he gets a roam. Now, even if Stark roams, the off chance that he does get something out of his so-called roam, he's still kind of behind. Now he gets his team a hit, but he's gonna be behind. Now PK gets all the benefit for himself, and it's fine because he's Aatrox. Aatrox getting a hit is a scary thing, especially in team fights. We all have seen how the Shy is able to destroy team fights with a really fed Aatrox. So if he dies here, I'm laughing. Oh my fucking. He's dead. Oh no. I'm trying to digress like what actually happened here. I don't get. Okay, first of all, I don't get this kick. This kick leads to nowhere because it's not like you're kicking into the tower. You are basically, so look at this, right? Stark is here, Pallet is here, Ego is here. Okay, you guys are always gonna sandwich PK. PK will always get sandwiched because as long as Stark is able to land out here. Now, if you kick him here, okay, you're still gonna sandwich him. It makes no difference between him being here and here. There's no difference at all. The only difference you make is that Stark misses his out. Now, you could blame Stark. Stark is total shit for missing his out, but I don't blame Stark here because Ego, there's probably a crucial miscommunication here with, Ego just straight up griefing Stark. Because again, there's no point kicking him here. You are still gonna sandwich him. Now, I wanted to also point out that let's just confirm this. I want to know if Team Flash knows that Machi X is coming to topside, because this play at this frame right here already looks bad. Now we see pings coming around. We see we see pings trying to notify that Machi's team is going to help PK here. So unless they can straight up just pop Aatrox, this will never be a great play. Because I'm pretty sure Syndra sees Zoe going. Okay. Let's see. I can't see the wards here. I want to see if there's any wards. Yes, there's a ward. There's a ward. So we know that there's a pink ward right here. There is a pink ward right here. There's a pink ward right here. Team Flash knows that there are at least 4 guys. Sorry, there's at least 3 guys going up top. With Zoe and Leona. Making this play doesn't make sense at all. Like, yeah. So if Machi makes the play, it makes sense. Team Flash making the play, not so much. Why? Look at the team comps here, okay? Team Machi X, they really want to get a hit. They really want items on their champions as early as possible because they don't want Ornn to get his items. They don't want Aphelios to get into that 6-item monster, okay? Misfortune, 2 items, you're already a really good champion. Now, in this scenario, again, if Machi was the initiator on this fight, that's fine, because they want to fight. They want to look for fights. Team Flash, they're saying, well, we don't, what their team comes saying, we don't want to fight. We don't want to fight this. We just want to make sure that our team is going smoothly, okay? We kind of want to fight, but we want to fight if you want to fight, kinda. Because if you engage, look at what happens to Aphelios. Look at what happens to Syndra. If Lee Sin goes in, if Alistar goes in, if Ornn goes in, who is gonna protect Syndra and Aphelios from Leona, from Zoe, from Grace? There's so much threats on Team Machi that can go on top of Team Flash. And that happens, this happens. Okay. You guys are liking damage? Let's see. Lee Sin, what happened here? Okay. I don't wanna be too nitpicky on misplays here because it happens to the best of us. I just think the macro point of this is really terrible because one, you don't have the damage. You don't have the damage. You are not looking for fights early. You want to scale. You want to scale with this team comp, with Team Flash's team comp. Again, this is what happened by Syndra. What I mean by Syndra getting left out because no one is able to protect your carries. Oh, really good large wheel here. So again, let me just play this and kind of play this again. So they do this whole shenanigan. Lee Sin, Alistar, Ornn this whole shenanigan onto PK. But of course, it's unfortunate that Lee Sin misses his resonating strike onto the Aatrox. And but if you look at it from another standpoint, even if he just hits it, Aatrox has about 900 to maybe 1,000 health pool. It's unlikely that PK just pops from this. Syndra dies here because okay. This is what Syndra is thinking. I guarantee this is what she's thinking. Guys, I don't think this is a great play here. I really don't think this is a great play here. And then, the jungler top and support's like, no, I really think this is a good play here because, we have numbers here and we can just pop Aatrox. Maybe that's not the case, but, I don't want to put fingers here. Null is really, I'm pretty sure Null really does not want this play here because he does not have cleanse. He doesn't know where, Zoe is going to pop up from. Or he doesn't know that if he can dodge the bubble sleepy bubble trouble, and if he gets hit, he always dies because he has no cleanse. Okay, and Misfortune pops up on him, and now he dies. Now this is really unfortunate, but now I feel for mid laners. Okay, so they give 4 kills away. Really pretty unfortunate. Trades back with Zoe. Whatever still, because lane states on top lane are fine, and immediately we see FL trying to contest for a scuttle for crap here. I don't know what happened after they reset. I don't know. So this should never happen because Machi after that fight immediately resets and they should immediately go for a Herald. They should because they are ahead. I'm assuming that tempo messed up somewhere by Machi because with this lead, Team Flash should never be able to have a say in saying, oh, I want Herald. With this lead, with this team comp. Regardless, Machi is still pretty ahead. Let's see how Team Flash actually uses the Herald here. Pretty sure they'll just use it mid. Okay. I understand why the swap is like this because they want to contest for Herald, but after Herald is down, I feel like there's really no point in putting Misfortune up top anyways. Now you're just lane swapping because it's already been done. I get why Machi X wants to go for a swap here. Again, they want the Herald, but I'm pretty sure they just messed up the tempo here. Good double camp by Gemini. Dragon's gonna spawn, so bot lane should look. Oh wow, okay, that's really good by mission. Sorry, pardon me. This ward is useless. So this ward has no use because you're not playing topside anymore. You will never play topside because Dragon is spawning, so you really just want to play around bot side, okay? I'm not saying it's useless because it got denied by a pink ward. I'm saying it's useless because you are never in a position in the next minute to 2 minutes play around this side because there's nothing to take topside. Now for Team Machi, they really want this. They really want this. For Team Flash, they really don't want Machi to get this here. Any Drakes to Machi at this point is death towards Team Flash. Because it's just gonna snowball, especially with Inferno. Inferno is really good for their comp because you have Graves, you have Zoe, you have Misfortune, you have Aatrox. Works really well. Not so much for Mountain, but Mountain works pretty well on Leona, on Graves, on kind of Zoe if she gets Elemental. There it is, and kind of Aatrox if he gets a Merc Threat or Death Dance. Assuming this is the patch where Death Dance has armor and magic resist. So again, this ward's kind of useless. Machi wants to play around bot side. Team Flash. It's fine if Team Flash if Machi doesn't if Team Flash is able to stall out Machi's Drake takes, I guess. Because again, they want to stall the game as much as they can. They want the Orin to scale. They want Philius to scale. They want Syndra to kind of scale. I think Syndra is pretty okay scaling, not the best, definitely not as good as some mid lane late game monsters like Kassadin or Victor. But I think Syndra has an okay time scaling in. So it's okay if I was Team Flash, I'm gonna be like, okay, if Machi doesn't want to take this Drake, we're fine. We're fine. The longer you guys don't take this Drake, we're fine. Because again, they want to scale. If I'm Machi's like, the moment it spawns, we gotta take it. And then it puts Team Flash in a position like, shit, if we fight and if we lose, we're always going to lose. If we don't fight and we just start it up, there's a chance that we can scale and let them actually win the game here. Or let us, scale and kind of win the game here. Okay. Let's see. So Aaron's resetting. Misfortune should not go top. There's no point. No. Why are you going top? Why? No, please, no. Dragon is spawning in a minute. Okay. Whatever. I'm just gonna fast forward a bit here. Because again, I like, why? Why do you do the swap? Why don't you just go bot lane? And just tell the moment Misfortune bases, tell Aatrox to base and you just do the rotation. It's fine if you lose the CS because you want to be an Inferno and you don't want this to happen. You don't want this to happen because this should never happen with the team comp that Machi has. This should never happen because Machi should always have the priority towards Dragon because they are ahead. They're ahead in kills. They're ahead in items. They're definitely ahead in items. Wait, what? Yeah, they should be ahead in items. The only one that's kind of not a hit is Misfortune because Misfortune went for double Dorans and Berserkers Greaves. Hence why she doesn't have her first BF item yet. Compared to IE on Aphelios. But it's still fine because Graves has some full item. Aatrox has a full item. Graves has 2 components up. And like this is still slightly towards in favor of what's their name? Machi X. Why? Why are they doing this? Dragon's coming up. They should just take Drake. Drake is free. Are they alert? Like so okay, the only explanation I can give is basically Machi's in Machi's team comps is basically saying, okay, we know that we're stronger than Team Flash. So even if they start it, we will always win the 5v5. It's fine if Team Flash starts the Dragon, but if they do, it's a death sentence for them. That's the only valid way I see how this plays out for Machi. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's such a bad hero. Is it? Is it kind of bad? Now Team Flash loses. Oh, okay, never mind. Kind of worked out. I was expecting like it just it just barely kills it, but it kind of worked out. It was close. Kind of my bad. Okay, so let's just refresh everything. So I think I still think Machi going for an early swap and securing the Drake here is the optimal play for them. but that didn't happen. PK got brutally dive, although I think he played it pretty well. Kind of a misplay by Lee Sin there, but I think regardless, I think PK played it really well there. I don't think he should have died. I think they should have just went for Drake. Now that he died, they lose first. They lose first turret for no reason. Having Herald is kind of a bonus, but again, we have to understand that having Herald on Team Flash is a misplay from Machi from not having good tempo. Again, they are ahead. They are really ahead. Graves having a jungle item and also 2 components is pretty damn good with, especially with a Zoe. You just catch someone and they always die, especially if they don't have cleanse. Misfortune, if you can fight in jungles, bullet time is always great. I don't see a scenario, or I want to say I don't see a scenario where Machi loses a Drake fight, but I guess this is one of those scenarios. Now Team Flash is getting kind of hit. Let's see here. Okay. So blue one, I'm kind of confused because I think I keep my brain tells me that this is well, okay, never mind. You know what? I'm big dumb here. So they go for a fight here. Now TPing here is kind of hard on him because he doesn't get any CS and he loses this. Yeah, he doesn't. This is weird. I mean, this is fine. Like at this point, econ wise, Team Flash is kind of in the lead, minus the kills, because they got somewhat of some free CS on Ornn. Aphelios gets quite an amount of playthings, although it's kind of shared, so it's not really that much, but still, it's kind of fine. It's the goal discrepancy is still towards, or like it still favors Machi X here, but that's because they have 4 kills. And I think, what the hell? Sorry, I had someone calling me. But yeah, like they're kind of ahead in goal for, well, not really ahead, but I'm saying this because they Machi has kills. But if you minus out the kills, if you discount the kills, Team Flash should be ahead in econ wise. Tempo wise, I think Team Flash kind of has it as well here. I feel like this is so greedy from Team Flash. Like they want to fight this, but it's like looking at this alone, it's already a numbers disadvantage. Ego doesn't have the help pool to fight this anyways. It's basically just saying like, okay, I just want the blue buff, but at what cost? Again, like I'm saying again, like if you minus out the kills, the goal is kind of favoring towards Team Flash here, and of course they get plates because they got first blood turret. They also got a full plates of turrets, and they also got several turrets up top for Stark. Aphelios in a pretty good spot, having a really good smooth tempo going for his items. IE is already done, going for the Runins probably. Double wards, synergy from Team Flash. So let's see, okay, let's see, it's 14 minutes now. What does Team Flash want and versus what does Machi X want? So Machi X is starting to shake. They're like, oh shit. That's a 1.5 item Aphelios that's going pretty strong. IE first instead of the Essence Reaver. So his crits are gonna hit much harder. That's an Ornn that's leveling the same with our Aatrox. If Team Flash is in a pretty good spot. It's fine for 62 kills. Team Flash is in a pretty good spot. It's just the third Drake coming up in 3 minutes. They might be able to fight this, but if they don't, I'm not surprised. They can just say, okay, I don't want to fight this third Drake. I could fight this third Drake, but if we don't want to fight this third Drake, it's fine too, because again, we are looking to scale. And probably by 25 minutes, Team Flash is able to just win fights cleanly. If you put similar head-to-head team fights. Machi X on the other side, they want every objective that they can get their hands on. They want to try to catch out Syndra, since they know Syndra has no flash. They want to put Team Flash in a really awkward position where, like, okay, you have to choose. They have to force Team Flash to choose between saying, okay, objective A or objective B. For example, like, do you want turrets or do you want dragons? And depending on what the situation is, one might be better than the other. I'm not saying that Team Machi X doesn't have a good scaling comp. I'm saying that Team Flash has a much better scaling comp towards the late game in this game here. So let's see. Where is the Aphelios? They should just play around the Aphelios. Team Flash should just play around the Aphelios at this point. Because Aphelios is really ahead. There's no point playing any other lane. Because Ornn is not behind. If Ornn was any behind, then, you know, even if Ornn was behind, there's no point playing for him. Yep. The goal. Yep. That all happened. So this all happened. This all happened here. Because Machi was like, let's put Misfortune topside. And have them rotate all the way. Okay? That all happened because of that. And I don't know how the comps are. Again, I don't see any, I don't watch any PCS or VCS. They might be like, oh, it's because Aatrox didn't leave the turret. That's why we lost. They might. And if that was the case, that's really unfortunate. So right now, second hero is coming up. Of course, Machi X really wants this second hero. It really, really, really helps in destroying turrets. They really want the mid turret to go down, because if that mid turret goes down, a lot of things gets easier for Machi X here. They have much more vision control. They are able to control the mid lane and the proximity of mid lane jungle much better. Instead, Team Flash is, once again, I just feel like Team Flash is playing a much more better macro game here. Ooh, okay, no. You are running into things that you shouldn't be running into. Did they get Hero? If they get Hero, it's not too bad. I would like it if Null didn't just walk into people and just die for no reason. But honestly, okay, not even trolling. 9-3 at this point for Team Flash is not that bad. It is not world ending. It is not world ending. I repeat, okay, it is not. It's pretty bad, but it is not world ending because they get the hero. Aphelios is alive, so they don't get shut down. Go. And Aphelios is still able to scale. So it's really not that bad. It's pretty bad, but it's not world ending bad. I feel like what I'm realizing is that I feel like Team Flash has so much better understanding of the game, at least what I'm seeing in this game, but they have kind of poor mechanics. Or the micro game. Like, why is not, like, why, okay, like right here, okay, why don't now just, like, okay, now again, I don't know the comps, but if I could, they're doing hero, right? Now could just either go in here, okay, have the two beefy front lines just be, front lines, try to tank, and then even if they want to fight, have their front lines go into either here or here. There's no point for Ornn to actually go up top, because this is just Leona. You really don't care if it's just one Leona, especially if that's just a tank. You want to keep the Leona away from either this or this, so that they are able to do free damage. But now it's just Syndra is just doing, running into Gemini and Mission, and she gets chunked. Palette should be either here, Stark is here, Slater and Null should be here, Ego should be here. This should how the fight evolves, and then they are fine. Because what happens is, because they are so much closer to proximity, they can just move one side and just absolutely demolish that side. There's no point for them to actually move to any other side, because as long as they're able to group up and just pow on one side. Because look at this, okay? You have Alistar, you have Stark. You can always engage onto one side. If you engage on one side, that side will always die. Because again, Alistar, Pulverize, Lee Sin Kick, Stun Gun, Syndra, Stun. Always dies. Always dies. Dies or Burn Flash. Dies or Burn Flash. Now, you could also argue that, okay, if they do that, then Miss Fortune is going to bullet time all the way here. Now, if that happens, then you can also argue that, okay, why not just go with Miss Fortune instead? And that's also fine. But this is probably one of the worst case scenarios where, now dies for free. Again, worst case scenarios, but not the worst. Now dies for free. Palette dies for free as well. I think Eagle kind of dies. I'm not sure, but it's basically a 3-for-1. Although they do get the Harrow, which is kind of the silver lining in this fight. It's kind of messy for Team Flash right here. Again, it's not the worst. It's pretty bad. I'm surprised Slater actually got away for free. He had to flash behind, right? Yeah. Yep. Slater is in the right position. It's just that now is like there's no point now playing defense games because it's not Syndra's job to play the defense game. Or like it's not Syndra's job to walk into them. You want them to walk into you. It's so much easier to play the game. It's so much easier to play that type of game instead. Runins and IE completed for Slater. Now as long as Slater doesn't die, this game is still pretty much winnable. 3k goal lead with 2 towers down with it's not too bad. It's just basically 1 item. It's not too bad. It's pretty bad. Like again, it's pretty bad, but it's not the end of the world. Okay. Let's see here. Dragon is spawning. It's a Cloud Soul. Aatrox with Cloud Soul is actually pretty insane. Okay, Leona doesn't die from this. Please don't tell me they... Oh my god. Okay. Tough. That's tough. That's rough, buddy. How much you want to bet that in Team Flash's team comp here? Kill Leona! It's Leona, guys. She's maxing W. She has Aftershock. Even if you kill her, it doesn't matter. Because that's what she wants to happen. That's a really good TP. Oh, that's not even a TP. He just ran all the way down and got the flank. Like, they know that Aatrox is coming. They know, like, why are they grouped up in this one corner? Like, this is... Now, this is just really bad because Slater died. It's not bad because Slater died. It's bad because Slater died when he's ahead. When he has a really good curve. Now that he dies like this, they get the third Cloud, putting them into Cloud Soul Point. And if they do get Soul, it's pretty... Like, it's impossible for Slater to not die in team fights. Because Graves, after a shock, Face Rush, Aatrox, Cloud Soul, like, you just run at him. And, like, what is he gonna do? Alistar's gonna push me away. Okay, Graves is gonna come in. Oh, Graves is not gonna be able to stun is able to come into me. Okay, Leona just comes in. It's basically like, it's basically a no-win situation for Team Flash right now at this point. Because again, unless Machi doesn't end the game within the next 15 to 20 minutes, Machi should secure this kill. Should be able to secure this win here. Okay, now we see Aram here. And I bet you... Oh, man. They don't even get this turret, don't they? Tough. That is so rough. That is so rough. Now, it's 20 minutes now. Machi X is in a really good spot. Machi X could just do a 1-3-1. They could do a 1-1-3. They could do a 3-1-1. And it's all going to be fine. Flash on the team, because of the lack of 1 TP, it's going to be really awkward for them. Because if you move Syndra topside, Team Flash is just gonna hard engage with Leona. Or Graves is gonna literally Graves could just E in and he won't die. That's why Graves is such a busted champ. And again, 5v4. And Syndra, ooh, man, Syndra's 2 levels behind. You do not want to see Syndra being 2 levels behind. You don't want to see your AD being 1 level behind, and you definitely would not like to see if your Ornn is going to be one level behind later on. Now, Syndra is just being desperate at this point. Because now, what happens? Oh my god, okay. God damn it, man. You're IGN, dude. Holy shit. Now, Team Flash, okay, is desperate to find a resource. And let me tell you this, there's not a resource going around to share with everyone. Ego is just gonna constantly get behind because Machi is gonna constantly counter jungle. And even if Machi doesn't counter jungle, Syndra wants to get the farm. Slater wants to get the farm. Where does Lee Sin gets his farm? And Lee Sin, as we all know, Lee Sin has a pretty hard time going to late game. I'm not saying Lee Sin can't play the late game, but Lee Sin, for all those Lee Sin players out there, you know that once you hit that 25-30 mark, when things are able to one-shot you and things are able to get so much tankier, you're gonna have a hard time actually queuing in and actually killing people, especially in a organized routine, in an organized match, because you can't random snipes insects. Oh, this is desperate. This is so desperate. No. Oh, this is desperate. This is desperation. I smell it. I smell it. This is a little nitpicky. If Palette wanted to do this flash within minions, W, the minions, Q flash. If they want to do this play. This is just desperation. I don't know if I would actually want to watch the rest of the game. Because the game's pretty much over, not gonna lie. Like, yeah, they do this, but... Yeah. Okay. Wait, how does Misfortune die? What? Wait, they got out. Okay. Ooh. I don't get this play as well. Wait, okay, wait. Why? Why do you move backwards? Why don't you just move to your team? Your team is top side. Like, what are you moving towards to? Your turret? You die for free. This is really great. Now Philius becomes a chainsaw. And now 2 fights. Like, this is what Team Flash wants. You want Misfortune to die. You want to have separate fights. This is great for Team Flash. Do they get Baron now? They do. Yeah, they do get Baron now. Well, maybe not. Grace has but it's really hard for Grace to actually E in at this point. I know what I said earlier, but with Alistar, it's pretty hard. Okay. They just kite. They have DP. They have no. Just go in. Just fight. Like, don't be fair. Don't be scared. They have TP. Yes. No. Oh no. Okay. It's whatever. This is fine. This is good for Team Flash. It kind of stalls out the game. Baron always stalls out the game. So this is okay. Oh man, why is this such a monkey? Honestly, if I was Team Machi, if I was Gemini, the moment we saw the kill feed onto Lee Sin, if I'm Gemini, I'm gonna say mission int it. I'm gonna flash it, cause you have to understand, if you int it as mission, and if Pallet uses his combo onto, if they use their combo onto mission, Graves gets a free smite. Oh well, Graves doesn't even have smite, so it's whatever. If I was gonna say like, if they int it right here, Graves could just E in and get a free smite onto the Baron. It's pretty risky, not gonna lie. Well, as I said, like it's near 25-30 minutes. Team Flash is showing a bit signs of life. Although they are kind of ARAMing. I don't blame them for ARAMing because it's pretty hard for Syndra to side lane against an Aatrox. It's pretty hard for Syndra to side lane against Graves. It's pretty hard for Syndra to side lane against it. Kind of hard for him to side lane against a Zoe. Well, maybe not Zoe. Zoe is kind of fine, especially at this point where this hard goes down. Especially at this point where Syndra has cleanse. As long as Syndra has cleanse, side lane against Zoe is not too bad. I'm just gonna speed it up a bit. Lead X speed ×2. Do you take Drake? This is fine. I feel like so I think MCX or like Machi, they probably should have contested for this Drake. Because if they contest or like at least try to go for a steal attempt. Because if they do get the Drake, it's Drake, so it is really strong. But I also understand from the standpoint that if they lose this fight and also lose the Drake, well, if they lose Drake and also lose the fight, it's really bad for them. Because again, it stalls out the game even more. A lot of things happen. Death timers are getting pretty long. You as Machi just don't want to stall the game anymore. Plus also Flash has TP, so you don't Flash has Baron, not TP. Flash has Baron, you don't want to fight at a disadvantage here. So I kind of get it. But at this point, it kind of looks dire for Team Flash because they can't really push for any objectives at least in the next 4 to 5 minutes. And yeah, the game is at least gonna go on for probably at least another 5 or 8 minutes here. Because there's nothing on the map to get. Syndra is pretty good with wave clear. They have Baryon, they can stall the game. Aphelios has pretty decent wave clear with Runins and Flame, and even with Aphelios with Runins it's just pretty decent wave clear. So right now they're just it's just that point of the game where both teams are just ping-ponging, meaning pushing in the waves, waiting for the next objective to spawn. Okay, they try to go. This is really good. How did they get this actually? I feel like he shouldn't burn the cleanse here. He shouldn't be in a spot where he should get outed by Leona. Because like he could just stand behind the turret and just wait for the wave to come. Because Alistar's right there. If they try to dive, Alistar just bounces them away. How did he get caught again? This is so greedy from Bruce. Okay. If he wants to do this, he needs to stand here. He cannot stand anywhere above here. This is death for him. This is definitely death for him because he has no vision here. These things could just come over here. Even if you have the flash, Alistar with Righteous Glory with Ornn, long range engage. Even if you flash, as long as you get hit by one slow, you die. And your teammates again, if you're here, you're close enough to your teammates that your teammates can kind of protect you. But right here, you're kind of out of position here. It's just death for him. So he dies. Like even after he dies, as long as Aatrox is alive, as long as Graves is alive, it's not too bad. I'm surprised Team Flash didn't keep up the fight, honestly. Like, why not? You have your Philius is still healthy. Your Philius is still healthy. Your Philius has decent guns for a team fight like this. Your Syndra still is out, so if Zoe pops in, she dies. And your Philius has Mutant Edge. Oh my god, these these AD carries, man. What are these double lives? Like, I get that you want to get resources, but burning Flash and Cleanse at this stage of the game is, especially burning Flash and burning sums before a big objective comes up, is really bad. Especially if you're in mobile ADC and your team doesn't have, pill, the ability to speed you up, eat you in, pull you out. As I said, like at this point, Flash is in a pretty good spot because they have ornaments to play around with. Oh, and it's over. I don't get. Also, wait, hold on. One thing here. Why do they go for Baron here? They don't have to go for Baron. They have no need to go for Baron here. The whole point of why they lost is not because they started this Baron. It's because they went for Baron. Oh, like it's not because why the execution on the Baron here. Baron here is really bad because the enemy has Misfortune and also Aatrox and also Graves. Like, what's the point for Baron? I don't get it. You could just start the game, wait for Ornn to get 2 more levels, get more ornaments on your team, and just force the hand of Machi to make a play. The whole point of why they lost this is not because how they executed Baron, it's because they initiated on Baron here. Just remember, Slater has no sums. Slater with no sums is basically free food. Yep, and they just die. Yep. Do they lose here? Yep, they lose here. Yep. Like, why do you go for Baron here? Like, there's no, like, it's 5v5. Baron with the enemy Misfortune in the enemy team is basically death if you do Baron. Just wait it out. You can even wait for the enemy to do an objective, and then you go for them, and that's even much better because you have Ornn, you have Alistar, you have Aphelios's out, Moonlight, Vigilance. I need to read about the out. Overall, I feel like Machi should have closed this game out like much sooner, maybe like 5 minutes, potentially even 8 minutes sooner. I think Team Flash was like on the edge of pulling this game back. But Baron calls, Omega Low, whatever the kids say these days. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna call it here. I'll probably return with another video tomorrow in Game 2. And I'll see you guys, in my quarantine.